Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Noon with Nathalie. I am very excited to have a very special guest and friend with us today. Her name is Raelene B. Harder, and she is known as a speaker, trainer, author, entrepreneur, business and personal leadership coach, and she specializes in identifying what you need most in your business and your personal life. That is a lot of hats, Raelene. She's certified
under the same umbrella.
Yeah, she's certified by the Anthony Robbins Cloe Madanes Foundation as a strategic intervention coach. Raelene has worked diligently for the past 20 years with executives, coaches, authors, businesses, and individuals who have decided to make significant changes and are ready to implement real strategies to get out of their own way and thrive. So welcome to Noon with Nathalie, Raelene. I'm very excited to have you. And, you mentioned strategic intervention coaching. What does that mean exactly?
Well, hello to everybody who's watching. I will tell you about that, but I also want to mention in my bio that when you're asked to write down a bio, there's no way around it sounding pretentious. So I apologize. It's kind of a lot of hats, but they all fall under the same umbrella of SI coaching, which strategic intervention coaching is really about identifying the crack in the foundation and what matters most in somebody's life or business. So very often people will come to me with a problem that isn't the problem. They think it is, but when we start getting into a bit of a discussion and asking some important questions, it becomes clear pretty quickly that there might be a different area that's more important to address before some of the issues that maybe they've come with. But strategic intervention coaching is really based on Anthony Robbins and Cloe Madanes' 6 human needs. 6 human needs quickly are certainty, knowing that you're safe, knowing that you have an income, knowing that you have a roof over your head. Uncertainty, because if everything is too certain, we get really bored and we need some variety in our life. The third need is for significance. So significance, we all need to feel like what we're doing matters and that people recognize that we're doing a good job, or sometimes significance can be negative. You decide, you make poor decisions and you feel pretty significant with that. The fourth need is for love and connection. So, and they're together but separate, because for some people, some cultures, some societies, intimate love isn't as important as connection. And so connection, to your family, to an organization, to your community is really important. The fifth need is the need for growth. So if something isn't growing, it's dying in your finances, in your relationship, in your physical health. Those things, if you're not moving them ahead, they are going backwards. They're not staying the same. And the last need is for contribution. So somewhat similar to significance in that you want to give back, you want to be noticed for what you're doing, but contribution is doing something that's beyond just you. So it can mean a variety of things, but it is the gauge to help people understand all their emotions. So the 6 human needs is really just a way of understanding how people value and prioritize what they need in their life. And strategic intervention coaching is about identifying that and helping people make shifts pretty quickly in their life or business.
Yeah, and that's one of the tools you use, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Absolutely. Okay, great. And so with the coaching, obviously you're using this in your business, but what is the investment for you when you're helping these business owners and entrepreneurs? Like, why is it really important for you to be part of their journey?
Because I know what it's like to be alone as an entrepreneur. I know what it's like to start businesses. I've started 3 over 20 years. All 3 of them still exist. All 3 of them in some form or another are growing and contributing to something bigger. But being an entrepreneur, business person can be very isolating. You can feel very alone and you don't necessarily know who you can go to for support. So your friends probably don't really understand if they're not entrepreneurs as well. Your staff or coworkers, you don't want to burden them with what's going on or the inside issues. You know, you've had a fight with your spouse, or your teenager's going off the rails, or you're struggling with money and you're not really sure how to keep the door open for another month. And who do we go to talk about those things? And when I started my restaurant way back when, and that was my first foray right into the heart of the community, it was really clear, really fast that entrepreneurs were struggling. And through a series of my own life events, I could keep doing all the businesses I'm doing, but none of them were going to impact people in the way that I felt I wanted to. And so working with entrepreneurs and businesses directly, bringing my experience and bringing some of these tools and methodologies in has been pretty rewarding for me, and I think helps people shift. Again, it's about a quick shift, but it's also lasting change. So I think a lot of people struggle with the idea of coaching because they feel like it's like therapy, like it's this long process. We don't know how long is a piece of string, right? They don't know what it's going to take. When I don't look at it that way at all, I look at it like it's not my job to be your therapist. It's my job to help you identify right now what really needs to be addressed and then help you do it. So it's pretty rewarding and motivating for me.
Absolutely. I know that when I work with clients, sometimes I will work with them for 4, 6, 8 sessions. So if somebody wanted to work with you, what can they expect? You know, is it a 1 hour? Is it a few hours? How long can they expect to work with you if you're saying the shift can be quick?
Well, the shift can be really quick, and I tailor everything I do for the specific individual or the specific organization. So okay. I do have templates, I do have program outlines that people can look at, but often it's a bit of a mixing of several programs to bring in the right tools and the right sessions for what that person needs. And I have programs that are a 3-hour strategy session, and that's it. They leave with some tools, they can execute them on their own. More often than not, people will choose to work directly with me over time. Because it's always more impactful when you have somebody you can bounce ideas off of and bring into your organization to get the lay of the land. So a lot of my work is around 6 months. I have many clients that continue after that, even just on an as-needed basis. Yeah.
And I mean, we've known each other for a few years now, and I know you've added speaking to your roster. Obviously, I'm a big fan of speaking in business because we have to talk about who we are and what we do, and share, our passion. So how have you brought speaking to enhance your business?
Speaking is critical to being able to communicate who you are and what you value quickly. So when people are out prospecting or they're networking or they're trying to understand, how do I get people to understand what I do? Speaking is the most direct, clearest way to do that. And even for people who don't feel comfortable as speakers, haven't had a lot of experience, that is where it's important to work with somebody like you, because it doesn't have to be overwhelming and scary. Just like anything in your business, it can be a plan. It can be outlined, it can be rehearsed, and it can be executed in a way that makes you really proud.
Absolutely,
Speaking for me has been the biggest way that I've grown my business, and more importantly, really understood the impact I can have on people.
Absolutely. Our words have a lot of power, not just, in reading them, but sharing them. I know that there are plans in the works. So what's next for Raelene Be Harder Coaching Professional Coach?
Well, I guess you're going to hear it first because I have not announced anything.
Announcement on you with Nathalie.
I'm going to tell you a tiny little story. Do we have time for a tiny little story?
We have time.
Okay. So in the speaking world, it's sometimes hard to find places to speak that really fit with what you do and your style and who you are and the type of audience that you want to attract. And one of the things I felt there was a bit of a hole in the market around conferences or workshops or things that really made a good impact on the mid and bigger size businesses. I know there's a lot of good ones, but there was just something missing. There was a lot for small entrepreneurs or smaller business. There's some really great things happening in Ottawa for that. But I just felt like I wasn't seeing a conference or workshops that really spoke to that sort of mid-sized business, the ones that are successful, but they're growing maybe quicker than they can keep up with. And those business owners are kind of running by the seat of their pants and don't necessarily have time to reach out and find the help they need. And that being said, even for them to find time to come to a conference could be a challenge. So my challenge or my thought was, what can I create that is impactful for them to come to, is going to give them a day of restoration learning, all those things. And so and in addition to that, what's the group of people that, expert advisors or people in the community or in Canada in general that really have the expertise that we could pull together an amazing event? And so I created something called Tribe Leadership Consulting, and there'll be a lot of information coming out about that over the next few months. But Tribe is a network of people, expert advisors who really lend their skills for the greater good, really for business owners to plug into, to really gain leadership skills, because Tribe is all about teaching leadership. So whether that's through public speaking, whether that's through workshops, whether that's through private coaching, whether that's through organizational change, Tribe is all about building leadership, leaders in the community. And so Canada's Entrepreneur and Leadership Summit, which is going to be happening in October, is the event that we are creating to really support these businesses. And speaking, it's just such a critical component, not only for me as a business owner to get on stage and share my story and to help the business owners through my experience, but for those business owners to in turn see the impact strong leadership, impactful leadership, and proper public speaking can make for their businesses. It's all about sharing a story. What's the story?
Very exciting. Well, this is sort of what the platform is about. It's about having a conversation and sharing what people are passionate about. And I know that you are very passionate about helping business owners and leaders in the community. I can't wait to learn more about Tribe. I know that I'm going to be part of the rollout, so I'm in the beginnings with you. So now people have met you. They know about strategic intervention coaching. They have just heard the news about Tribe and the conference that's going to be in October. How do they get in touch with you? What is the best way for them to reach out to you?
They can find me any way they want to. They can type in my name and it'll pop up. But LinkedIn, Facebook, of course, private email, Raelene at RaeleneBergenharder.com.
Perfect. So I will put those in the comments when I post the video later. But for sure, so they can reach you Facebook, LinkedIn, or actually, if you just Google her, you'll find her.
And one thing I do want to say is I had posted something about have people experience strategic intervention, and if any of your viewers have not experienced strategic intervention and want to, they should get in touch with me, because it's a free consult, but it's pretty impactful. I just had a man from South Africa. I had a session with him yesterday, just a free get to know a little bit more about strategic intervention.
That's the questionnaire you have them fill out?
No, it's just a Zoom, face-to-face, and it's really he's already contacted me saying how impactful it was to have that conversation. So it could just be the shift someone needs to move them forward. So
that's like a 30-minute conversation?
Whatever it takes. I'm pretty direct, and we get to the heart of it.
Awesome. Okay, great. So everybody, today on Union with Nathalie, we had Raelene B. Harder from Raelene Professional Coaching. She's a strategic intervention coach. So if you want to reach her, please find her on Facebook, on LinkedIn, Once again, I'm Natalie. Thank you for being with me on Noon with Natalie. And this week, stay tuned. There will be more.
Yay.
Whatever you choose to do, have a wonderful day today.
Bye, guys.